In this video, we delve into Ratchet and Clank Quest for Booty in this cinematic deep dive. Where do you go when you've lost someone you love? You mourn, you process, and eventually, you move on. But when someone is taken from you, right in front of your eyes, and you can do nothing to stop it, you get obsessed, you search, you fight. You'd scour the galaxy to find them. And in Ratchet's case, after Clank had been taken by the mysterious creatures known as the Zoni, Ratchet would scour the galaxy for any hint of his location. And just like that, with the help of Talwyn, they received their first clue from the Iris supercomputer. Their clue? To look for a pirate named Darkwater. This is a story of friendship, a bond so great that not even the universe could keep them apart. And this is how Ratchet became a Somali pirate.
The Fulcrum Star!
Years ago, on a planet called Quatu, a defect came into existence. And this defect's name was XJ0461. However, within him, there sparked something different, something unique. Upon uncovering a plot that threatened to plunge the Solana galaxy into chaos, he did the unthinkable. He escaped. Crashing onto the quiet, desolate world of Belden, he met a mechanic unlike any other, Ratchet, the last known descendant of the Lombaxes. Together, the two would form an unlikely alliance. The duo would become known to the galaxy as Ratchet and Clank. They set out in search of a hero, Captain Copernicus Leslie Quark. Dangerously self-absorbed, Quark would lure them into his headquarters on planet Umbris before showing his true colours, betraying Ratchet and Clank. He'd chosen himself over the galaxy that looked up to him. That betrayal caused a ripple in their relationship that in time would forge a deeper bond. What began as a mission for justice became something deeper, a shared purpose. A fractured duo, each with their own reasons to fight, to stop Chairman Drek and to face Quark, and to uncover what it truly meant to be a hero. And in that struggle, Ratchet and Clank became more than a team, more than friends. They'd become brothers.
Vertigo has an unregulated planet. Unwanted visitors have a bad habit of disappearing from here.
Alas, poor Captain! No one misses you but me. I miss you too, Rusty Pete. You may not have me body, but you'll always have me heart. The crew hates me, Captain. They don't hate you, Pete. They just don't understand ye. Why, you're my top first mate, you are!
Guys, I'm not looking for any trouble.
Wait! We're just here to find a pirate. Captain Engstrom Darkwater?
Darkwater, you hear that, lads? This mangy stowaway seeks the ear of a dead man. How's about we arrange a proper introduction?
Shot into the sky and flying through the air of the Azoran Sea, Ratchet's quest begins. Surrounded by a pirate armada and stranded in the midst of the fleet, Ratchet is trapped and must find a way to escape. This game, while smaller, shows us what Insomniac is willing to go through to create an epic story. As we travel through the ship, the sky is dark. We are surrounded by tornadoes and howling winds. Insomniac has given us a set of our old weapons from Tools of Destruction. It's made very clear that this game is built off of that one, shooting tornadoes and exploding pirates all the way to cranking cranks. While this game feels like Ratchet Tools of Destruction, it's actually very different in the fact that now I'm a pirate, and my lifelong dream of rooting through people's belongings can finally come to fruition. This game includes a set of a few weapons from Tools of Destruction, from the Combustor, a classic in the series, the Fusion Grenade, another series classic, and one of the weapons that carried me through this on the hardest difficulty, to the Tornado Launcher, the Shock Ravager, then the Nano Swarm, the turret weapon of Tools of Destruction, and now this game. And finally, my favourite weapon in both this game and Tools of Destruction, the Predator Launcher. But we also can't look past the most classic weapon, and the one that makes Ratchet feel like a pirate the most, the Omni Wrench Millennium 12. That's right, Ratchet's been a pirate since day one. As we travel through the fleet, we get access to a cannon. After sneaking up behind the cannon and taking out the Buccaneer controlling it, we unlock the ultimate ability in this game, cannonballs. And I'm talking really big ones, like anywhere from there. This is our first pirate feeling segment in this game, where we shoot down pirates off of the side of ships passing by and generally become a public menace as we shoot open doors. Traveling between the ships is insane. Ratchet willingly launches between ships on a catapult. When Talon asks him, shows how much he has trust in her.
There's no time to be afraid of heights. Jump on the catapult.
Because without Clank, this is insane. Not having any form of aerial ability, we put a lot of faith in Talon to catch us if things go bad, as she hovers around using her jetpack.
Get your paws off me.
Pause, stop. Is that the Insomniac moon? Thought I wouldn't notice. But I did notice, and I like that.
Alright, lads. To the stones cast to Morrow Caverns, and the pythons must be hungry. Avast, ye scurvy swine! Sweet eye of a Zoni! It's Slag! Scourge of Polaris! Slayer of Darkwater himself! Righto! And I hereby banish this lumbax to Hoolefar Island, where he will get exactly what he's looking for. Aye, Captain. You heard him, lads. To Hoolefar in 1, 2... Oh, just fire! Not again!
Ratchet, are you all right?
Clank? Clank, is that you? Clank!
There are only two reasons he could have appeared above Ratchet that day. Either he hit his head harder than we thought, or something far greater was unfolding beneath the surface. Something we couldn't see yet. Exploring the island, we find ourselves lacking weapons. The island is beautiful, and the creatures are angry, and we find ourselves met by magnetic walls.
My booster pack can only carry one of us. Do grav boots still work?
What? You told me to hop onto the catapult. You told me to hop onto the catapult. What? Why? Why? Making our way up and through the island, we are introduced to a new mechanic, one that they act as if I always had, and like I should have always known it was there. The kinetic tether, a device that allows us to control certain mechanics in the world.
Hey there, young fella. Welcome to Hoolefar Island. My name's Barnabas Worley. Mayor Barnabas Worley, to be precise. What brings you here?
Undercover as a used crotchetizer salesman, a dream job I've always wanted. We are tasked with helping the townspeople fix their wind turbine, the first of which is located in the middle of the town. The people here are awesome and diverse, from Tony, a guy who you'll spot walking around, or even Peter, a crazy dude who walks around. And then there's Frank who... Hold on, was that Tony? As you do walk around the town, you overhear conversations amongst the townspeople.
He's famous, he is. Saved like 10 galaxies in 4 cycles, and still found time to play the butler on that Secret Agent Clank show.
There are a few paths to go down, one leading to a rather long grind rail that features a new mechanic, picking up fireballs and throwing them to cause property damage. Another way, having 2 options to progress, a gravity wall on one side or through a kinetic tether puzzle on the other. Both paths take us to 2 wind turbines apiece. To access each turbine, we have to traverse jumping puzzles, navigate magnetic walls, and completely skip tether puzzles because I'm too good for them. Through our journey through the islands, we hear whispers of a thief who is seen to have stolen a GrumbleNet Versable.
Ratchet, this whole town's been ransacked. The thief stole anything that wasn't nailed to the floor.
Do they have any leads?
No. So far, the only thing they've been able to find are red feathers.
I think deep down we all know who did this. Big Bird, covered in the blood of his victims.
Look who's here. Small galaxy, ain't it?
Oh right, the parrot! Easy mistake. Well, yeah, here he is in all his glory, the smuggler, back at it again, causing mischief. He also features the return of the universe charging us bolts around the galaxy. As we play, he will charge us old hard cash for progression in the story. One of the only things bolts are used for in this game, as you don't buy new weapons. Now with everything we need in hand, we can speak to the beacon operator and get this beacon fixed.
I give you the Obsidian Eye, the most powerful Laurentian telescope in the universe. It was created with lenses carved from obsidian glass and powered by a single fulcrum star. Darkwater built it himself so as to keep in contact with his little friends.
Can it tell me where they are?
Well, sure, if we have a fulcrum star to activate it. Here, I took the liberty of borrowing this from our archives. They're pages from Darkwater's personal journal.
Caverns log, the 3rd of August. My trip to the Braga star cluster was fraught with savings. Not only did I find a great place for cheap Krull cobbler, but I also met a mysterious race called the Zoni. Friendly little creatures they are, can manipulate time and space to their will. Their leader gave me a fulcrum star I can use to talk to him with once I return to Polaris. It's worth a fortune, but I wouldn't part with it for all the bolts in Meridian City. The only worry is me miserable first mate Slag. It's only a matter of moons before he tries to pillage me property. But I've taken steps to defend it well into the afterlife using an ancient arachnoid incantation. He who disturbs me shall disturb my entire crew. This I swear.
And that star ought to be locked away with the rest of Darkwater's treasure. Find that star, and you'll find your friend.
The gameplay in Ratchet and Clank Quest for Booty is not too different from Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction. The game features a severe lack of collectibles, featuring only one, upgrades for our weapons. As we delve off the beaten track, exploring islands and delving deep into caverns, we come across certain hidden collectibles that upgrade our weapons. Unlike Tools of Destruction, Ratchet and Clank Quest for Booty doesn't feature a vendor to buy new weapons, or any sort of weapon upgrade system. Instead, they opt to give us new weapons as we progress through the story, and upgrade them to a more powerful version when we level the weapons up to level 5. Not only does it have a lack of weapon upgrades, all our weapons start off at level 3, making leveling them up very easy. The game features a few new smaller features, one being the kinetic tether, a device that is dropped on you as if I always knew it was there, and you're silly if you thought otherwise. Oh Insomniac, you and your gaslighting. Then there's the ability to pick up and throw objects in Quest for Booty. You are dropped onto Hoolefar Island with no weapons. So to combat this, for certain areas blocked off by gates, you can pick up fire rocks that explode, clearing paths and allowing us to progress all over the island. On top of this, we can pick up and throw glowing creatures called heliogrubs. These allow us to light our paths in dark caverns and keep the gore thwogs at bay. Flying bat-like creatures who hate Ratchet. Probably because he looked at them funny. From the shadows, another danger crept forth. Silent, unseen, inevitable. Far from the Solana galaxy, in the distant reaches of the Bogon galaxy, a strange encounter would set fate in motion once again. A thief, unknown, swift, attempted to steal a mysterious creature from a man known as Abercrombie Fizzwidget. At first glance, the creature seemed harmless, even cute, but behind those innocent eyes, chaos stirred. Worse still, when Ratchet failed to stop the thief struck at Ratchet's heart itself. They snatched up Clank and vanished. Tormented, manipulated, a pawn in a far greater game, Ratchet gave chase relentlessly and yieldingly and stopped the thief cold. This was the first time Clank had been taken. but it wouldn't be the last. There was more to this thief than met the eyes. A Lombax, Angela, the other last descendant of the species. As pieces of their past fell into place, it became clear that Fizzwidget was no innocent bystander. He was a ghost from Ratchet and Clank's past, Captain Quark. Bound by duty, Ratchet and Clank rose, standing tall once more. Together with Angela at their side, they stopped Quark, saving the Bogon Galaxy and deepening their bond. But this would not be the last time danger befell Ratchet and Clank.
Rusty Pete to Lombax. I have crucial information about Captain Darkwater.
Every pirate worth their salt keeps a map to their buried treasure. It's probably still with his body over in Morrow Caverns.
The Morrow Caverns, a dark, desolate cave system, locked away by pirates.
Structural integrity.
Ratchet, I'll try to find a way out of here. Just promise we'll leave this place together, okay?
No. I'ma leave you there. How's it feel? Make me launch myself?
I understand.
To get through the Morrow Caverns, we need to speak the ancient secret code, known only to the dreaded pirate Slag.
I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is me handle, here is me spout.
Wait, really? Can't argue with results. Here we need to delve deep to find Darkwater's pirate map. The Morrow Caverns are dark, with bat-like creatures known as Gorthwogs, who swarm you if you delve into dark areas without the protection of sight. Whilst you can't attack them, you can scoop up these helio grubs that produce a light and protect you as you delve deeper into these dark caverns.
Pete? What was that?
And throw. Opening up this drawbridge for Slag and Pete, they then unlock this elevator as we receive another helio grub. Pete is attacked. I couldn't do anything to help him. All I could do was watch and stare and watch a little more till finally we uncovered Darkwater's fleet.
Whoa.
There she is, right where we left her.
And you're sure Darkwater's holding the map to the Fulcrum Star?
Of course I am. Kinda wish I'd known at the time. That star would have bought a lot of grog.
This is where things start to get dangerous. With no weapons, we had to delve deep, avoiding these large creatures known as pythors. Navigating their attacks, we need to use our tether to traverse the caverns, balance over large drops into dark pits, and grind rails before being faced by pythors. As we enter one of Slag's ships, we finally reach our goal.
The fairest battle in pirating history. Right.
Why don't you stand right there, mate? I'll check for booby traps.
Booby traps? Isn't that a bit cliche?
Not at all, mate. After all, you're the boob, and here's the trap. Cheers for the help, mate! Couldn't have gotten through the caverns without you! Sorry, old chum. What can I say? I'm a pirate! But here's a little something to show that there's no hard feelings.
Ahoy there, me hearty! This be Captain Slag, scourge of the galaxy,
Dirty backstabber, no good, take it right.
Darkwater, ye got a lot of nerve possessing me. This be my body now.
Watch your tongue, you mangy old body snatcher, or I'll carve out your gizzard and fry it for me supper.
Tough talk for a wee little phantasm.
Oh, I'm a phantasm on account of you sticking this blade in me back, you miserable cheat.
All right, enough. I think you two could do us a good diligence. Set course for Hoolefar or Island.
Betrayed by the one thing I love more than anything. Booby traps. Oh, God damn it. We have been given 2 of our weapons back, just in the nick of time, as Darkwater's pirate army reawakens. We must be fast, catapulting our way across the caverns, taking out swarms of Darkwater's ghost crew.
What's happening? There's green smoke everywhere and... pirates!
Yeah, look, I'm still not helping her. Serves her right. Deeper we go as we backtrack to the entrance. Taking out Pythor's, Slag's crew, we finally reach where Talwyn is trapped, and we make our way for the exit.
Them's be undead pirates! Run for your lives!
Back at Hoolefar, all is not what it seems. Slag, Pete, and Darkwater have launched an all-out attack on Hoolefar Island. Ratchet, alone all by himself, must protect the Hoolefarians from Slag's army. Wave after wave, we launch an all-out cannon attack against his ship. This fight is epic, as we have unlocked more weapons. We have to take out shielded enemies, as well as these enemies that shoot smaller ones out of their head, till finally, we have won.
Ratchet, come in. I was able to boost back to the island alone. Guess I know how Clank must feel.
The world design in Ratchet and Clank Quest for Booty is some of the best the series has to offer. Due to its singular planet setting, the world feels bigger and more established than ever. From Hoolefar, a large island with wind turbines towering over it, to Darkwater Cove, another large island, dark and dank, the island feels like it's full of dread, with a large skull towering in the background. This game shows off its pirate themes with shocking success. Whilst a much shorter game with less locations, the team at Insomniac had to pay extra attention to each location. Quest for Booty also features dark and dank caverns, from Morrow Caverns, a cave system that reaches deep into the island, that features a large lost pirate fleet and hordes of ghosts. This island is creepy, from a lack of music that allows for you to hear the echoes and surrounding noises all the way to Lithoin Cave, a cave system that runs under Darkwater Cove, featuring large open caverns with towering buildings. The world design in this game is incredible. Reusing a majority of assets from Tools of Destruction, Insomniac should be hugely proud of what they have achieved in such a short window of time. On a desolate backwater world, a tyrannoid army descended. This was the home of an orphan, a Lombax, Ratchet. The world he had grown up on, the only home he had ever known, was under threat, and he could not stand by. Together with Clank and the Galactic Rangers, he rose to defend it. They embarked on a quest, a hunt for the one man who might hold the truth, Captain Quark. But the hero they sought was no hero at all. His mind fractured, twisted by years of madness. Through broken fragments of memory, the truth emerged. Not Quark, a far darker secret, hidden deep within his memories. Dr. Nefarious. The galaxy teetered on the edge of ruin, and as the battles raged, disaster struck once again. Clank, kidnapped, replaced by a reflection, a cold machine. Clunk, unseen, disaster spread, until Ratchet, relentless, rose. He chased the truth, he freed Clank, he destroyed Clunk, and hope was restored. Together Ratchet, Clank, even Quark, they stood united against Nefarious, and in the final clash, the villain fell, banished to silence, forgotten in the shadows. Dr. Nefarious would never be seen again. Darkwater Cove. The surroundings are eerie, but somewhat epic. Getting to this island, we have to pretend to be Darkwater by convincing the door we are in this epic fight of the ages.
If you really are Darkwater, prove yourself and fight like him.
That was by far the most scariest battle of my entire life. I may or may not have shat myself. Yep. As we traverse this island, we see a looming skull off in the distance. Our first route takes us to a pirate who wants us to create some epic tunes by jumping on these keys. I hate these sort of puzzles, I never get them right. Our next path takes us to a dingy cave system that leads us over a sheer drop till we meet a pirate who is absolutely verschnickered. Doing this reveals a path up to the skull, which has our final puzzle, where we very simply have to line up the shadows with the skull, revealing an entrance. No, a booby trap. A booby trap. A booby trap. hordes of pirate ghosts start to appear, and the atmosphere turns green. This battle actually proves to be challenging. Playing on the hardest difficulty, it took me a few attempts, which is something I love about this game. It likes to throw curveballs your way and make you struggle. Upon beating them, we finally find
The Fulcrum Star!
Watch your step there, laddie. X doesn't always mark the spot. A fair good tomorrow, young lumbacks. I pray God preserve you from the pythons and their bellies. And don't worry, we'll take good care of your fair Sally.
wow. The fact that you're still here is incredible. Not a lot of people are gonna make it this far. And for Quest for Booty for all things? Hell yeah. If that's the case, I've covered every single Ratchet game, and if you stick around, those will be linked at the end of the video. You can even find it on my channel, minus the PSP games. I'll get there. If you really like this video and it does get enough likes, I might even continue on with a crack in time. By the way, YouTube just dropped a brand new button under this video called Hype. You only get 3 hypes a week, and it's a massive boost to small creators like me and the algorithm. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the hype button. It tells YouTube to push this video out to way more people. And hey, if you're wasting your 3 hypes and cat videos instead, I totally get it. I would have done the same. You may as well hit the subscribe button. Otherwise it was all for nothing. You'll never know I released a new one. I'll wait. Sweet, that's legally binding. We're best friends now. I told you, Mom, I could make friends. The list of characters in Quest for Booty are not large, and a lot of them return from the previous games. From the smuggler, who's very clearly been rooting through the residents' belongings on Hoolefar Island, who is laying low for some unknown reason, all the way to Talwyn, a lady who Ratchet was once friends with, but now hates due to her catapulting him everywhere with her smooth words, to our secondary villains of the previous games, Slag and Rusty Pete, who have been brought back to be main antagonist of this game. After Slag's death in the previous game, Pete's motives were to bring back Slag and take Darkwater's fleet. But this game does also include a few new characters, from the mayor of Hoolefar Island to our final villain, Captain Darkwater, a pirate who had been betrayed by Slag many years before, returned to share a body with Slag after he had taken over Darkwater's body. This game only proves to extend on a lot of the characters and their lore, introducing a backstory to Slag and Pete, and introducing a plot point to propel Ratchet through the journey. His goal to find Darkwater, who has had a history with the Zoni, and figure out how to find Clank.
Unidentified craft approaching.
Years ago, Clank vanished. Vanished along with Ratchet and Owl. Dragged across the stars into the forgotten sector of the Solana galaxy. To a region so dark, so twisted, it was known only as the Shadow Sector. And at its core, Dread Zone. But this time, Clank was not the only one to disappear. He too had been taken alongside his old friend and the ever-loyal Owl. Ratchet, stripped of choice, was thrust into an arena to become a gladiator for the entertainment of the masses. Clank, wired into his ear, became his lifeline, his navigation, his conscience, his only voice of reason in a world that had none. Forced to kill, to survive, to entertain, to live, they were prisoners. Not just of the arena, but of the galaxy that had forgotten who they were. Still together with Owl, they rose. Battle after brutal battle, Ratchet climbed the ranks, until tragedy struck. Owl, shot down, raised by the reigning champion. The so-called legend himself, Ace Hardlight. Their names dragged through the mud, their image mocked and twisted. Heroes, now villains in the eyes of those watching. But Ratchet and Clank didn't break. They endured, and eventually, they overcame. Ace fell. And in the final episode of Dread Zone, they faced Gleeman Vox himself, the leader of Dread Zone, in a battle not just for their lives, but for their very legacy, and for the lives of the many fans that made it possible. They won, not just winning freedom, not just gaining vengeance, but redemption. They became heroes again, icons, legends. Finally, they could rest. But legends never stay silent forever. Ratchet fell for another booby trap. Hey, I got it that time! Booby. We must explore the Lithoid Caverns to find a way out. We grab up our handy-dandy poor innocent creatures and we are on our way, shimmying and climbing up edges, avoiding fire and creating paths with our kinetic tether. We make it up onto an edge where we take our enemies and use swing shots to progress. This cave system is large and absolutely stunning. Both cave systems in this game really make me want more locations like this in the future. The sound design is absolutely stunning, from the frantic music to the overall visuals and eeriness of these large locations. Using our cranks, we get cranking by cranking this here crank spot, moving large platforms to be able to progress. And I gotta say, cranking it is a lot of fun. I do it at least 12 times a day. Yeah, it's really great for the arms. This cave features more ghost pirates and includes more balancing over beams, over sheer drops into deep dark caverns below. Till finally, we reach a clearing, where I crank it one last time. Right before we crank this f***ing crank.
You've been far too meddlesome to be left breathing the captain's air, me hearty. Any final words before I nail your carcass to the pike?
Yeah, I do. Can we make sweet, sweet love under the moonlight?
I wouldn't trade the opportunity to skin your scurvy carcass for all the booty in the galaxy! Let's dance!
I think that's a yes. Turns out his kink was beating us senseless, so we gave it everything we had and delivered a storm of bullets till he was defeated, revealing a way out. It was all falling apart. Slag had kidnapped Talwyn, he had stolen the star, Clank was still missing, and Ratchet was no closer to finding him. No way of knowing if he was even alive. The star wasn't just another trinket, it was the only shot Ratchet had left to find him, the final thread tying hope to reality. Now with everything on the line, Talwyn's life, the fate of the galaxy, and the chance to see his brother again. Ratchet had no choice here. He had to stop them. Not for glory, not for revenge, but if he failed, Clank would be gone forever. The fight to find Clank begins.
Welcome aboard, me hearty. Ye come in a fair breeze. I was just about to gut your dear Sally like a Marquesian trout.
We start off gunning straight for the main target, Slag, firing every bullet we have at him, till he runs off, leaving us to finish off his buccaneers. To open up Talwyn's cell, we are introduced to our final pickup, and what could be the only thing to defeat Slag and Darkwater, the pirate skulls of his crew. Something that is marked by death, with no time to think about consequences. We catapult ourselves across to other ship, catching up to Slag, who is transformed into a giant phantom of Darkwater himself. At this stage, he is invulnerable, avoiding swing after swing. Eventually we are able to subdue Darkwater by throwing skulls at him and taking on Slag once more. Till once again, Slag flies off. We are slowly cornering Slag, we just have to push a bit further. Catching up and attacking him on the outskirts of a ship, he once again runs away. Till finally, we corner him for the final match. Subduing Darkwater again, we throw everything at Slag. Till he's defeated. After Dreadzone fell, Ratchet and Clank found peace at last. The chaos faded, the battles ended, and the galaxy moved on. They returned to Kerwan, settling into the steel embrace of Metropolis City. A place where the lights never dimmed and peace seemed eternal. But peace, as always, was only calm before the storm. A name once buried in hatred rose again. From the shadows of history itself, Emperor Tachyon, a warlord born of vengeance, forged in the ashes of a species driven to extinction by Ratchet's kind. He didn't want control, he didn't want conquest, he wanted Ratchet dead. An all-out assault shattered Metropolis, and from the flames Ratchet fled, guided by fragments of memory and desperate questions. Ratchet and Clank thrusted across the stars into the heart of the Polaris galaxy. Along the way, allies joined their cause, the ever-absurd Captain Quark, the fearless Talwyn Apogee, and the rusted war veterans Kronk and Zephyr. Their mission: stop Tachyon, unravel the mysteries of the weapon crafted from the Lombax millennia ago, and uncover the truth of Ratchet's past. But whilst Ratchet looks back, Clank was being pulled forward. by something strange, something unseen. Whispers in the wind of space, flickers at the edge of time. They were called the Zoni, being a pure energy invisible to all but Clank. At first they were guides, offering power, upgrades, warnings, but soon they became more than strange allies. They became an obsession. They haunted Clank's every step, hinting at a large purpose not yet fulfilled, until they took him, vanished, gone from time and space as if he had never existed. Ratchet stood victorious over Tachyon, but empty-handed, because Clank had been claimed. Not by an enemy, not by fate, but by something else, something older, something watching from the folds between galaxies, waiting. This is what set Ratchet on his quest to planet Murdergrew, what set him off to find Clank. Ratchet and Clank had been separated and kidnapped plenty of times, but this was different. There was no way of knowing if Clank was safe, if Clank were even alive, and it was only a matter of time till we would finally find out.
Let's hope this works.
As the chosen one spoke.
If x is the coefficient of a squared minus the improbability of the hypotenuse at absolute zero, the bogon index of the denominator must be equal or lesser to the number of bees in your bonnet.
Don't worry, sire. The doctor will be able to repair you. He is here.
Signal lost. Coordinates acquired for Brigus Nebula.
Nefarious. Hang on, Clank. I'm coming.
It's time for Ratchet to head to the Brigus Nebula.
Wanna hear it again?
I didn't want to hear it the first time, ye mangy old bucket of balls.
All right. No need to get cross.
I'll quit yelling when ye find me a new body. Now start rowing. Row! Row! Row!
Oh, let me guess. Row?
Shut up! Row! 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 Put your